Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real. Life is not easy. It's never been, and it never will be. There are going to be days when you feel like the world is against you, like every door you knock on stays closed. You're going to get tired, disappointed, and even question your purpose. But when life gets hard, that's when your true strength is tested. The struggle you're facing right now is not meant to break you. It's meant to prepare you. Every obstacle, every setback, every failure is shaping you for something greater than you can imagine. When life gets hard, it's often the moment that reveals who you truly are. You see, anybody can smile when everything's going right. Anybody can stay positive when life feels smooth, when money's coming in, when people are cheering for you, and doors are opening easily. But your real character, your true strength, is revealed when nothing seems to be working. When you've been praying and waiting, but your prayers feel unanswered. When you've been trying, but the results don't show. When life feels unfair and heavy, that's when you discover what you're really made of. Hard times are the mirror that show your resilience, your patience, and your belief in yourself. They test your willpower, your attitude, and your faith. You don't grow during comfort, you grow when things hurt. The storm is not your enemy, it's your training ground. Many people run away from pain, but that's not how you grow stronger. Diamonds are created under pressure. Muscles only develop when they are stretched and challenged. Likewise, your spirit, your courage, and your confidence are strengthened when life challenges you. Every hardship you face builds a new level of toughness inside you. You might not notice it right away, but every time you survive a bad day, every time you rise after falling, you're building emotional muscle, and that strength will carry you to places you couldn't reach otherwise. When you go through hard times, you start to understand your own power. You learn that you can take more than you thought you could. You learn that even when life tries to break you, you can bend without shattering. See, life difficulties are not random, they have purpose. Every test you face is a lesson disguised as pain. You might not see the reason right now, but one day you'll look back and realize that the struggle made you wiser, more patient, and more focused. Hard times teach you what success never can. Success makes you comfortable, but pain makes you powerful. It strips away the ego, the pride, and the illusion that everything should come easy. It humbles you, but it also builds you. It teaches you gratitude for small victories. It sharpens your faith, and it strengthens your hope. When you go through pain and still keep your heart open, still choose kindness, still show up, that's when you become unstoppable. There's a saying that smooth seas never made a skilled sailor. If everything was easy, you'd never learn how to steer your ship. You'd never develop endurance, patience, or courage. It's the storm that teaches you how to navigate. It's the storm that teaches you to trust your instincts and your faith. So when life gets hard, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because that question will change your perspective. Instead of feeling like a victim, you start to see yourself as a warrior in training. You start to see every challenge as an opportunity to rise. The truth is, strength is not built in comfort, it's built in chaos. Every trial you endure is preparing you for a breakthrough. Every obstacle is polishing your character, and when you make it through, you come out wiser, calmer, and more grounded. Hard times don't define you, they refine you. You become more patient, more compassionate, more confident in your ability to survive. So when life gets hard, don't run from it, face it with courage. Because those moments, though painful, are shaping you into the person you're destined to be. Pressure and struggle are the forces that create growth and transformation. Nothing in nature grows without pressure. Not a seed, not a tree, not even a human soul. When a seed is buried deep underground, surrounded by dirt, darkness, and weight, It doesn't die. It begins to transform. It pushes through the soil, reaches for the light, and becomes something beautiful. That's exactly how life works for us. When you're buried under stress, problems, or heartbreak, it's not the end. It's the beginning of your transformation. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the grind, from those moments when you're forced to rise beyond what you thought you could handle. The pressure you feel is not there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. In life, we often want things to be easy. We pray for smooth paths and open doors. But what we don't realize is that ease never builds strength. If everything were easy, you'd never know your power. You'd never learn to trust yourself or your faith. It's through pressure that you gain wisdom and perspective. You learn patience when life makes you wait. You learn endurance when things don't go as planned. You learn resilience when you have to start over again and again. The struggle becomes your teacher, and the lessons it gives you are priceless. It shapes your mindset, your confidence, and your character. Every person you admire, every successful, strong, and wise individual has gone through pressure. They faced situations that pushed them to their limits, and because they didn't quit, they transformed into something greater than they were before. Think about how a diamond is made. It doesn't start out shining or beautiful. It begins as a piece of coal buried deep within the earth. But through extreme heat and immense pressure over time, that coal becomes something valuable, something admired. The same principle applies to your life. The pressure you feel right now might be intense, but it's turning you into something precious. It's building a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. You may feel like you're breaking, but in reality, you're being shaped. The struggle is not punishment, it's preparation. The world's toughest moments often produce the world's strongest people. When you go through tough times, you discover parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. You find new levels of courage, creativity, and determination. Pressure forces you to grow in ways comfort never could. You start to think differently, act differently, and live differently. You stop being afraid of failure because you've already survived difficulty. You stop doubting your worth because you've seen how much you can endure. The person you become after the struggle is far more powerful than the person you were before. You begin to realize that every tear, every disappointment, and every delay was not wasted. It was building your foundation for success. Struggle is a universal truth. Everyone faces it, no matter who they are. But not everyone transforms because of it. The difference lies in how you handle the pressure. Some people let it crush them. Others let it shape them. The key is to embrace it, not resist it. When you stop fighting against the process and start trusting that everything happening is for your growth, life changes. The pain you feel becomes your strength. The confusion you face becomes your clarity. The failures you experience become your stepping stones. Every single thing that tests you also teaches you. You begin to move differently, think higher, and see beyond temporary problems. There will be moments when the pressure feels unbearable. You'll want to quit, you'll question your path, and you'll wonder if all the effort is even worth it. But that's exactly when transformation is closest. Growth happens right after the point of maximum pressure. Just when you think you can't handle anymore, you push a little further and you break through. That's when you realize the strength you've built through the struggle. That's when you begin to see your potential in full bloom. So don't fear pressure. Don't run from struggle. Let them do their work in you. Because when it's all said and done, you won't just survive the hard times. You'll emerge transformed, glowing with the strength and wisdom that only life's toughest battles can give. Challenges are not punishments. They are preparation for greatness. Too often, When life gets difficult, people start to think that something is wrong, that maybe they're being punished or that the universe is against them. But the truth is, life doesn't give you challenges to hold you back. It gives them to push you forward. Every difficult moment you go through has a reason, even if you can't see it right away. It's all part of the process of building the person you meant to become. You can't get to your destiny without going through some storm. You can't rise to greatness without walking through the fire that molds your strength, your character, and your resilience. Every great person you've ever admired, every successful leader, every dreamer who made it had to go through trials that prepared them for what was coming next. When things fall apart, it doesn't mean your life is over. It means something new is being built. The struggle you're facing is the universe's way of shaping you for something bigger. You might lose people, face failure, or experience disappointment, but none of that means you're being punished. It's just preparation. Before a diamond shines, it has to endure pressure. Before a butterfly can fly, it has to struggle inside the cocoon. Before a tree grows strong, its roots have to fight deep through the soil. The same principle applies to you. The challenges in your life are not there to destroy you. They are there to equip you with the wisdom, humility, and discipline you'll need when success comes. When you're being prepared for greatness, the process doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes you'll feel like you're moving backward, like everything is going wrong. But what you don't realize is that growth often happens in silence, in darkness, and in discomfort. God doesn't prepare you on the stage. He prepares you in the shadows. He molds your patience, builds your strength, and tests your faith when no one's watching. Because when your moment to shine comes, you be ready. The mistakes, the delays, the heartbreaks, all of them are lessons designed to build a stronger version of you. You're not being punished. You're being trained. You can't handle a big blessing with a small mindset. That's why life gives you challenges, to stretch your thinking, to break your limits, to force you to grow. If everything came easy, you'd never develop the maturity needed to handle what's waiting for you. Challenges make you wiser. They make you appreciate success when it finally arrives. They teach you gratitude for every small step, patience for every slow season, and strength for every setback. They remove arrogance and replace it with humility. You begin to understand that your journey isn't about avoiding pain. It's about learning from it, growing through it, and letting it shape you into someone unstoppable. Many times, people pray for success, but when the challenges come, they start to doubt. What they don't realize is that the challenges are the answer to that prayer. You can't handle a higher level without being trained for it. Just like an athlete can't win without practice, you can't reach greatness without pressure. The failures you face today are strengthening your foundation. The people who left you are teaching you independence. The obstacles that stand in your way are developing your perseverance. Everything that's happening to you is preparing you for what's ahead. Nothing is wasted when you're learning from it. When life gets hard, remind yourself that preparation always comes before promotion. The pain you're feeling today is the proof that growth is happening. You're being refined, not rejected. You're being built, not broken. Every challenge is carving out the strength you'll need when you finally arrive at the place you've been dreaming of. So don't run from the process. Don't see your struggles as punishment. They're part of your preparation for the blessings that are coming your way. When you look back one day, you'll understand why you had to go through what you did. You'll see that every challenge was perfectly placed to teach you something vital, something you couldn't have learned any other way. So keep your faith strong, your spirit unshaken, and your heart open, because what you're going through right now isn't the end of your story. It's the training ground for your greatness. Faith must stand firm when circumstances feel impossible. It's easy to believe when everything is going well, when your plans are unfolding just the way you hope, and when life feels comfortable. But real faith isn't proven in the sunshine. It's proven in the storm. It's in those moments when nothing makes sense, when your prayers seem unanswered, and when doors are closing all around you. That's when faith truly matters. Anyone can believe when life is good, but it takes a different kind of strength to keep believing when life hurts. Faith is not about ignoring your pain. It's about trusting that there's a purpose behind it. It's about knowing that even in the middle of chaos, something good is being built in the unseen. When life gets hard, faith becomes the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be. You might not be able to see what's ahead, but faith tells you to keep walking. It's like driving through thick fog at night. You can only see a few feet ahead, but as you keep moving, the road keeps revealing itself. That's how life works. You won't get all the answers right now. You won't always understand why things are happening the way they are. But faith whispers, keep going. You're not done yet. Faith is what helps you move forward when logic tells you to quit. It reminds you that setbacks are setups and that every delay has a divine reason. You may not see the full picture now, but one day you'll look back and realize that every closed door and every disappointment led you exactly where you needed to be. True faith is not dependent on visible signs. It's not about seeing the blessing before you believe it. It's about believing even when you can't see it at all. Sometimes faith requires you to walk blindly through uncertainty, holding on to nothing but hope. It demands patience when everything inside you wants to rush the process. It calls for trust when your heart is tired of trying. It asks you to surrender your control and let God guide you. That's the kind of faith that transforms lives. The faith that stands tall when everything else crumbles. There will be moments when your faith will be tested so deeply that you'll start questioning everything. You'll wonder if your prayers matter, if your effort is worth it, or if you're even on the right path. But remember, silence is not absence. Just because you don't see results doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes God works behind the scenes, aligning the right people, the right opportunities, and the right timing. Your job is not to figure it all out. Your job is to keep believing. The waiting season is not wasted. It's working on you. It's strengthening your patience, deepening your faith, and preparing you for what's next. Faith is not just about waiting. It's about how you wait. Do you wait with fear or with confidence? Do you wait with frustration or with gratitude? That's what separates people who break down from those who break through. When you wait with faith, you understand that the storm doesn't last forever. You may not control what happens, but you can control your response. You can choose to stand firm and trust that this chapter, no matter how painful, is leading you to something beautiful. Every trial, every tear, every sleepless night is watering the seeds of your future blessing. Faith doesn't promise that life will be easy. It promises that you'll never face it alone. You'll still have days when you feel weak. But that's when faith steps in to remind you that your strength doesn't come from you. It comes from something greater. You may bend under pressure, but you won't break because faith holds you together when everything else falls apart. So when life gets dark, don't lose your belief. Keep standing, even if you're standing in tears. Keep moving, even if you're walking through fear. Faith isn't about seeing the path. It's about trusting that the path is there. The impossible becomes possible when you refuse to give up on what you believe in. And one day, when the light finally breaks through, you'll realize that it was your faith that carried you through every storm and led you exactly to where you were always meant to be. Every great success story was born through pain and persistence. Nobody reaches greatness without first walking through struggle, disappointment, and failure. It's easy to look at successful people and see only the glory, the achievements, and the applause. But behind every moment of triumph, lies the story of battles, setbacks, and countless moments of doubt. The truth is, pain and persistence are the foundation of every meaningful accomplishment. You cannot have one without the other. Pain teaches you what persistence demands, and persistence helps you rise above pain. Every dream worth chasing comes with challenges, but the ones who win are those who refuse to quit no matter how hard it gets. Pain is a teacher that no one wants, but everyone needs. It shows you what you're capable of, reveals your limits, and then dares you to go beyond them. When life hurts, you have two choices. You can let it defeat you, or you can let it drive you. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who keep getting back up. Every time you rise after falling, you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next challenge. Pain shapes your patience and builds your emotional endurance. It teaches you to keep going even when your heart is heavy and your path is unclear. That's how persistence is born. Not from comfort, but from struggle. Persistence means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's the fire that keeps burning when motivation fades. It's waking up early to chase your goals when no one's watching or cheering for you. It's doing the hard things over and over until they become the reason you succeed. Many people give up right before they break through because they let pain convince them it's over. But persistence whispers, keep going. Your time is coming. It doesn't matter how slow you move as long as you don't stop. Because every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dream. Every successful person has a story filled with rejection and failure. Think about it. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before creating something revolutionary. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Walt Disney was once told he lacked imagination. These people didn't let pain stop them. They used it as fuel. They turned every setback into a stepping stone. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Success is not about luck, it's about endurance. It's about having the courage to continue when your mind screams to quit. The pain you feel today is temporary, but the strength it gives you lasts a lifetime. Persistence also changes your mindset. When you push through tough times, you stop fearing failure because you've already survived it. You start to understand that pain doesn't mean the end, it means progress. Every difficulty you face is preparing you for your next level. You learn to trust the process and believe in timing. The longer you hold on, the more refined your vision becomes. Persistence teaches you to value the journey just as much as the destination. Because it's in the struggle that your character is built, your purpose becomes clear, and your passion is reignited. Pain will always be part of life, but persistence turns it into power. The more you endure, the stronger your spirit becomes. You begin to see challenges differently, not as barriers, but as opportunities to grow. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start saying, what is this teaching me? That shift in perspective is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Greatness is not born in moments of ease, it's forged in moments of pressure. Every scar tells a story of survival. Every setback carries a lesson of resilience. Every painful moment you overcome becomes proof that you are unstoppable. So when you're in pain, don't run from it, use it. Let it sharpen you, not shatter you. Let it remind you why you started and why you can't stop now. Success doesn't come overnight. It comes from persistence, discipline, and the courage to keep fighting through the dark days. Pain might slow you down, but it can't defeat you unless you let it. Every time you refuse to quit, you're proving to yourself that you are stronger than any obstacle standing in your way. And one day when you finally reach your victory, you'll look back and realize that the pain that once tried to break you was actually the very thing that built you. Trust God's timing. Your hardest moments often lead to your greatest blessings. Life doesn't always unfold the way we plan. Sometimes we want things to happen right away, and when they don't, we start to lose faith. We think maybe it's not meant for us, or maybe we're not good enough. But what we fail to see is that delay doesn't mean denial. God's timing is never late, it's perfect. Every challenge, every closed door, every painful detour is part of a bigger plan that's shaping your destiny. You may not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and realize that everything happened exactly the way it was supposed to. The moments that broke your heart were actually building your strength. The times you felt lost were guiding you toward purpose. The waiting season wasn't punishment, it was preparation. When life gets hard, it's easy to question why things aren't working out. You might see others succeeding while you're struggling, and it can make you wonder if God has forgotten about you, but he hasn't. He's simply working behind the scenes, arranging things in your favor even when it doesn't look like it. Sometimes the reason you're waiting is because he's protecting you from something that isn't meant for you. What feels like rejection could actually be redirection. You may think you're ready for a blessing, but God knows the perfect moment when you can handle it, appreciate it, and sustain it. That's why trusting his timing requires faith, because you have to believe in what you can't see yet. The hardest part of trusting is not knowing when things will happen. You wake up each day hoping for a breakthrough, but it doesn't come as soon as you expect. That's when doubt tries to creep in. But that's also when you must remind yourself that God's delay is not his denial. The road to success is not meant to be quick or easy. There's beauty in the waiting, because that's where your faith is strengthened and your character is refined. If everything came instantly, you wouldn't appreciate it. You wouldn't grow. Waiting teaches you patience. It teaches you humility. It teaches you to rely on faith instead of fear. God uses the waiting season to prepare your heart for the blessings that are on their way. Sometimes God slows you down because he knows what's ahead. Maybe he's keeping you from rushing into something that would have hurt you. Maybe he's allowing you to grow before he gives you more. It's like planting a seed. You don't see results the next day. You have to water it, nurture it, and wait. The roots grow first, underground, where no one can see them. Only when they're strong enough does the plant start to rise. That's how your life works too. Right now, you might feel unseen or unrecognized, but that's because your roots are growing. God is building a foundation so strong that when your time comes, you'll be able to stand tall and not fall apart. Trusting God's timing also means accepting what doesn't happen. Sometimes the doors that close are blessings in disguise. You may cry over what you lost, but if you knew what God was protecting you from, you'd thank him instead. Every no you face is leading you closer to the right yes. Every setback is setting you up for something greater. The detours, delays, and disappointments all serve a purpose in the grand design of your life. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start saying, I trust that this is happening for me. Because when you live with that mindset, peace replaces worry. There will come a day when everything you went through will make sense. You'll see how the struggles connected to the blessings, how the heartbreaks led to healing, and how the waiting prepared you for your breakthrough. You'll realize that God was never late. He was right on time. So when you feel frustrated, lost, or ready to give up, remind yourself that your story isn't over yet. The delay you're facing might be the exact pause you need to grow into the person capable of handling the blessing that's coming. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep moving forward even when you don't understand. Because the same God who brought you through before will do it again. And when the time is right, everything you've prayed for will fall perfectly into place. And you'll finally see that the hardest moments of your life were the stepping stones to your greatest blessings.